Okay, so our question is, can private businesses like Target ban people or prohibit people from carrying guns on their property, being a private company?
Yes.
Because people are bringing guns into the store and it's creating an uneasy atmosphere.
Right. And that's not why they're doing it. A store, any business can reserves the right to refuse service to really anybody for any reason, for the most part, right? So when a place says guns banned on this premises, what they're saying is that we have the right to refuse service to anybody who's carrying a firearm, right? So now if you're carrying a firearm into a place that has one of those signs, or even a place that doesn't have a sign, the signs are nonsense. Signs are meaningless.
Yeah.
Somebody walks up who, an agent of the store says, I see you're carrying a firearm, we would like you to leave.
Yeah.
If you refuse to leave, that's a minor trespass.
Yeah.
Right? It's a petty misdemeanor. It's a $25, $50 fine. It's not a gun charge, right? Now, any business can post this, right? But it has to be the actual owner of the business
that posts it.
Right. So, for example, we rent the space from somebody else who owns the building.
Yeah.
They can't put up a sign. So, like Mall of America,
yeah,
they had those signs up.
Yes.
It was the mall owners, but the tenants didn't agree, so the signs came down.
The mall owners own the property; they can do whatever they want.
They can't. No, they can't. The tenants.
The tenants
can.
do it.
Yep. It has to be the tenants. It can't be the landlord. If you're renting out the property, you're basically renting that privilege as well.
Okay. And then, if someone was to, you give someone a permit,
yep,
and they get in trouble for it, how would that have any repercussions for the business here?
No private person issues the permit. The permit is issued by the county that they live in.
Okay.
Yep.
So your county's given it. You just gave them the lessons.
Yep. We give them the education. The county actually gives them the permit.
It's like driver's license.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And then, how was with the new gun laws and stuff, all the bans and all that stuff? How has that affected the business?
Well, it doesn't affect it directly in Minnesota. There were no laws that went into place here. Laws in other places, so Colorado got hit with a pretty big deluge of laws. What it does is it sparks people into panic buying, right? If you say there's laws coming, then people start making panic buying decisions, and we actually try to talk people off that ledge, as opposed to people buy an AR because they think they're going to make them illegal. Well, that's not a good reason to get away from, right? So no. So we try to kind of talk people out of that panic mode, because basically that's what it does. It gets people to panic. As far as actual effect on the business, every time they put a major piece of gun legislation in place, it has literally exploded the number of guns in private hands.
Okay.
So if that was the intent, like for example, if Obama's intent with the gun laws that he's proposed, if his intent was to double the number of guns in private hands, mission accomplished, because that's exactly what it did.
Okay. And then just asking about a personal opinion.
Yeah.
Obviously people have the right to ban guns, but now about open carry, the issues have been people open carrying their guns in stores. Is that how big of a problem is that?
Well, what I tell people in my classes, what I tell my students all the time. Yeah, they can open carry, right? It's legal to open carry.
If you have a permit.
Yeah, if you have a permit to carry a firearm, it's legal. The permit in Minnesota is a permit to carry, not a permit to concealed carry.
Okay.
Right? So it's a permit to carry, so you can legally carry. Generally, we advise people against this for a number of reasons. One of which is it makes other people uncomfortable, right? If you're uncomfortable around guns, I really don't want to flash my gun at you. Yeah. Why do I want to make you uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
So all I got to do to make you comfortable is that, right? The other thing is that when you're wearing a firearm, you have that innate power to intimidate people.
Yeah.
Right? Well, going around intimidating people for no reason is, for lack of a better word, evil, right? And my actions are now open for your interpretation, right? So if you're a barista at Caribou, and I go, wow, $6, that's a lot to pay for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this is a threat, right?
Yeah.
So, we stand around the gun store, we have our hands on our guns all the time, because That's where we rest our hands, because it's a gun store,
Yeah,
right?
a natural place.
Once we walk out of here, I'm resting my hand on my gun. I'm brandishing. I'm threatening people, right? I don't like the idea of wearing my gun open. I don't wear it open anywhere when I'm out and about. When I'm out in public, I don't wear my gun open.
Okay.
One of the things that happened this summer
Okay.
was these guys at Target holding their ARs.
Yes, we have researched that.
Okay, so we strongly encourage people to carry firearms. We teach firearm carry. We sell carry guns. We sell holsters and stuff. If you walked into my store carrying a front slung AR, I would probably draw down on you.
Yeah, that's
You would definitely be asked to leave. And this is the gun friendliest environment you can get. That is unacceptable behavior in my opinion.
okay. But even though it is legal,
Sure, it's legal. A lot of things are legal,
but it's just not.
right?
It's not.
I mean, you can go around and scream in people's face. That's legal.
People don't really
Yeah,
like it.
no, people don't like it. It's completely unacceptable, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like having terrible body odor. Legal. Completely legal.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, there you go. I think he was talking
That's a
to
good
you.
example.
I'm just saying.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, not him. He's fine. He's perfectly fine. Okay.
So, yeah, but I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, firearms, we have a right to carry firearms, and people should be proud of their right to do that, proud of the country that we live in that allows us to do that. But part of that freedom is an individual freedom, and you have to respect other people's individual freedoms as well. You know, one of the things I hear is that, well, if we banned guns, you know, this tragedy wouldn't have happened, right?
Yeah.
So even if it saves one life, any amount of laws is worth it, right? Even if it saves one life. Well, firearms have saved people's lives.
Yeah.
So the reverse would be, you have to carry a gun. Because even if it saves one life, isn't it worth it? Well, no. It's not worth violating your individual freedom and making choices for you. In America, individual liberty is our paramount thing, right? So that's what the right to bear arms is about. It's not about that you have to bear arms. It's that you have the right to.
Okay.
So, and other people have the right to not bear arms. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. That's good. And then for people who are open carrying and like the ARs slung across their chest,
Yeah.
they can they get like arrested for that and brandishing, not threatening, just having them.
They can't if they can, but if you feel uncomfortable and you say that guy's brandishing his weapon at me, now he has to show that he's not,
Yeah.
right? I mean, the court has to prove that he is. Your fear is very strong evidence of his actions,
Yeah.
right? So they have evidence that he's committed a crime. He's going to have to defend himself against that.
Okay.
So it's pretty foolish. No.
Yeah. Okay. You have any questions, Zach?
Yeah.
All right.
How common is it for a person like who has a permit to carry a gun and misused it?
It's extremely rare. So you can look up a number of the statistics and you look up some of the studies. I don't have the exact numbers, but in general, people that have a permit to carry are extremely law-abiding citizens, right? Nobody's wearing a magical force field that prevents a gun from going on them, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a criminal and you want to carry a gun, guess what? You won't go get the permit. You'll just carry the gun.
Yeah.
So the only reason you go get a permit is because you're a law-abiding citizen. So by nature, people who are permit holders
That makes a lot of sense.
jump through the hoops to obey the law.
Yeah, that
right?
makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
So,
Okay.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, I think for me.
For you, I think that was pretty good.
What about
Okay.
Nolan's questions? What would he ask?
I don't know, he's not here. I think no one's sick.
Well, what's his perspective again? It's
What
to.
was your perspective?
Oh, my perspective is to.
He's the opposite.
Yeah, I know. My
I'm the introduction.
my
Okay.
perspective
Yeah.
is to, not allow private sectors to ban guns.
okay.
So
And then
his-
Nolan is forbidding private sectors from banning guns.
or
Okay.
So wait a minute. You want private companies to be able to ban guns?
no, not.
And he wants them
Nolan
to.
won't. Yeah. Nolan says
Yeah.
he can. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually think the best argument for that is individual freedoms. Businesses have the choice, right? They have the right to make that choice. The person who I used to teach permit to carry under, if he saw a business with a sign that said guns banned, he would actually go, he would complain at the manager, he would yell at them, he would leave them like nasty note cards.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, no. And you know, and my response was completely different, because my response was, the whole thing about carrying a firearm is an expression of individual freedom.
Yeah.
They run a business. This is their individual freedom.
They
If
say
they
you can't do it.
if they don't want it there, that's fine.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can say, well, mass shootings happen and you're more likely to get robbed or more likely to fine, don't eat there then. You know? It's kinda like, don't go, you know? I mean, I don't like ice dancing. I don't go watch it. You know? I mean, so it's like, if you don't like something, you don't have to participate. That's the whole beautiful thing of freedom. So yeah, for me that's more that thing about the banning is less about Second Amendment and more about freedom of association.
Okay.
Oh, and oh yeah, in gun-free zones, how do you feel about those?
Yeah, well, they should be renamed.
Okay.
Right? They're not gun-free zones.
Okay.
They're free of legal gun zones,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which means that illegal guns are more than welcome.
Okay, yeah.
Because, you know, there's a, I
Gun
mean, one of the
shootings.
horrible truths is the only thing that stops a bad man with a gun is a good man with one,
Yeah.
right? So that's one of the things where we've seen in these gun-free zones is where you've seen a lot of these shootings and a lot of tragedies, and, you know, people's responses to
Where guns
run,
aren't.
duck, and cover. Run, duck, and cover works up until the point that it doesn't. If history has taught us anything, fighting back seems to be kind of the best answer.
Yeah.
So
Because Target, after these people
Yeah.
brandishing the guns they issued, not an actual ban on guns, saying respectfully,
yeah,
asking people to not carry them.
yeah,
And then what happened is people say, people aren't going to be carrying guns here. I'm going to go rob this place now.
Yeah.
Or rob people.
yeah.
And then that was the problem. And now you got problems on either side.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think we've seen a huge influx of robberies and targets since they put up signs, you know. But on the other hand, I think if you just say to the world in general, hey, some of the people around that may look like easy robbing victims may be armed. Some of them may be, some of them not.
You never know.
Go ahead, try your chances, you know.
Yeah.
let's see how it goes.
Spin the wheel.
You know, that might look like an innocent victim, maybe an 800-pound gorilla. Guess you'll find out. You know, so I just, you know, I think you respect other people's, you know, businesses and their property, and you know, I'll respect mine. I will say that I've never seen a sign that says guns banned on this premises.
Okay.
Never seen one. Now, I'm not a particularly good reader. I'm old, so I got the kind of bad vision going on, so maybe I just missed them. But nobody has ever seen, and more importantly, ever heard my gun, so I feel we're pretty fair on that.
Okay.
So,
I think that'll wrap
Yep.
it up.
Yeah, thank you
All
for
right.
your time.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Mike?
Yep.
Okay.